Hello everyone, I'm High Priestess or Sophinus. This is a very special broadcast for any witch that may have a family that is really going through it, really struggling, really trying to make it through life, because we know as witches life should not be hard. As witches our lives should be much easier. It should be easier to get from point A to point B. Your whole family is going to be blessed because that one spell, ritual, hex, or curse that you did changed everything. It only takes one person to go to the altar on the behalf of their family to change the entire family's legacy, to change the entire family's bloodline. It just takes one witch to go to the altar and stand in the gap for their family members. It just takes one witch. One witch. It does not even take a whole coven. If your family is fucked up, if your family is going through some hard shit, I mean some really hard shit that you don't want anybody else outside of the family to know about, go to the altar, work with the deities, go to Hecate, go to the gods and goddesses and ancestors and familiars and spirit animals, anything supernatural that you work alongside, go to them. If you never ask, especially with the Queen of Witches, if you never ask, the answer is always no, because you did not ask. If you never ask, the answer is always no. That's why I promote so much about witchcraft, because you should be asking for big. You should be asking for bigger. You should not be living as a witch in poverty, in the ghetto, having family members on crack, cocaine, heroin, in jail, in prison, on death row, on the streets, a prostitute, a hobo, live on the trains, live in the train tunnels. As a witch, that should not be your life. There can be other people's lives who are not witches because they are not witches, right? Our way of life as witches is totally different from the mundane world. As witches, our life, by very definition, is magical, is better. That's why most people become witches, because they want better for themselves. And they are willing to go to the altar and also, of course, put action behind that spell, ritual, hex, or curse to bring about the manifestation that their family desperately needs. Desperately needs. It just takes one witch to make all of the difference in that family's bloodline. Just one witch. You don't have to struggle. As a witch, you should immediately start seeing things change in your life. Immediately start seeing things change in your life after doing that very first spell, which hex the curse. Immediately. It should not be 2 years from now you finally have that house on the hill that you always wanted. It should not be 2 weeks from now that the bank has finally approved to buy that Maserati for you. It should be immediately. Witchcraft also helps you to stay motivated to do your part, because you know, I say this all the time, you have to put effort into your spell. You have to put action behind it. It's the same thing when you study for a test. You do a spell to get an A+ on a test, but guess what? You still have to study for the test. That's doing your part. The deity that you work with is not going to do everything for you. They don't like a lazy ass. Hecate, the Queen of Witches, does not like a lazy ass. Get off your ass and put some action behind that spell, ritual, hex, or curse. Get off your ass. And I know right there is a word for somebody. Maybe 12 people I see, the spirit. Get off your ass. Don't have to stay up at night watching something called, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? No, you don't. You know why you don't know where your kids are? Because you did not go to the altar on their behalf to bring their ass home. You know damn well why. Go to the altar. I don't care if your altar is on a beach, in your bathroom, in your closet, in your bedroom, in your kitchen, in your attic, in your basement. Go. Go. Go to the altar on the behalf of your family. That one spell, ritual, hex, or curse can change everything and bless your family beyond your imagination. Beyond your imagination. Because you would have also done your part to make it happen. You have to be a hard worker when you are a witch. The hard part is doing your part. The hard part that some high priestesses and high priests don't talk about, the hard part of witchcraft actually is doing your part. Not just sitting around listening to people say, oh, just leave it in God's hands. You have to get up and put it in your own hands. It's in your hands. It's in your hands. You are the witch. You work with the energy found in nature to bring about real, significant, and permanently positive change so you no longer have to go through life doing things the hard way, jumping through hoops. Who wants to live like that? Everybody else who is not a witch can live like that, but that's not our lifestyle. That is not the lifestyle of a witch. And the deity that you work with want you to work alongside them as an equal. That's the key word right there. Work alongside deities as an equal. That means there is no hierarchy. There is no, oh, you have to get on your knees, go into a prayer closet, cry, beg, bitch, whine, complain. No, just ask. If you never ask, the answer is always no. When the answer is no, you move on to something else. You ask for something else. You ask for something maybe that is more within your means, meaning that you can actually put action behind, actually accomplish. If you know you don't have a license, don't ask for a car. If you know you have no piano skills, don't ask for a piano because you're not going to get it because you don't have it. You don't have that it factor. You can't drive. You don't have a license. You can't be a famous pianist because you don't know how to play the piano. You have to actually fit the description for what you're asking for. You have to actually do your part. When you go to the altar on behalf of your family, you're not crying out, oh, my family is so fucked up. No, you're asking for the deity that you work with to come into your magical circle and help you change the circumstances and the situations that have made your family so fucked up. That's it. And the deity that you work with are going to be there to help you. You just have to be aware of it. Even if something seems so small or so insignificant or so not important or maybe not even magical, you still have to stay alert. You still have to investigate it further. You still have to look at it. You still have to listen to it. Because maybe it does relate to that spell, ritual, hex, or curse that you did. Even if it's not the way you expected it. You see, the deity that you work with always do things that you might not expect. But it's still to help you. It's still there to extend that help to your bloodline. So you have to pay attention. You go to the altar, you light your candles, you do your crystals, you do your essential oils, you do your chanting, you do your talking, you have private conversations with the gods and goddesses that you work alongside, and you just ask. You talk to the deity that you work with as though they are a person like how you and I are talking right now. That's it. You talk to them as though they are a friend, because they are a friend. They must be a friend if you have invited them into your magical circle for assistance to help with your fucked up family. Can I keep it real? Can I say it like this? Of course I can, because I'm always going to tell you the truth. Your family is going to be blessed because that one spell, ritual, has occurred, changed everything, because you were willing to stand in the gap and say, you know what, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. I'm not going to have this anymore. I don't like this anymore. I'm tired of this shit. I want better, not just for myself. I want better for my generations to come in my bloodline. And you go to the altar and you are clear and concise and very particular about what the results you want it to be out of that spell, ritual, has occurred. And that you are willing to take on the responsibility to make it happen by doing your part. Going beyond. After you do any spell, ritual has occurred, you have to go beyond, because you went to the supernatural for help, because the mundane world just is not covering it. It's not solving the problem. It actually might be making the problem worse. So witches go to the supernatural by going to their altar to work with deities, gods, goddesses, the queen of witches, Hecata, ancestors, familiars, spirit animals, whatever supernatural, angels, fairies, to ask for help. They want to help you, because as witches, by witches, you should not be going through life, including your family members too, not excluding your family members. They too should not be going through life the hard way. Everybody else can, because they're not witches. That's why I say a family of witches is a family that has prosperity, abundance, good health, wealth, status, and are happier than their old mundane life. When you are a witch, you will never want to go back to the way life once was. What the hell was life before you became a witch? Fucked up? Most likely, yeah. And you don't want that anymore. So when you go to the altar for your family members and you really write out your intention so that it is crystal clear what you want, there is no turning back. There is no going backwards. You can't go forward by going backwards. You don't get shit. You have to keep going forward. Do not go forward by going backwards. This does not happen. That's a fucking joke. When you go to the altar on behalf of your family members, they too will experience a magical field of life, because you are willing to take the extra step. You are willing to walk that extra mile. You are willing to stand in the gap for your family. You know, witches are very protective of their family members. Some people become witches because other people try to fuck with their family. And they say, you know what, I'm fed up with this shit. I'm not going to tolerate this shit no more. I've had this shit. Now I have to go to a supernatural. Now I have to take a vow to become a witch. To change my family. To protect my family. To make sure my family have abundance. Have long life. Have long wealth. Have good status. I don't have to worry about them when I go to sleep at night. None of that. When you go to the altar on the behalf of your family, they too will be blessed. They too will not be going through life the hard way, because it just takes one witch. It takes just one witch to go to the altar top of their family to change everything. It just takes one spell, ritual, hex, or curse to change everything, so that family can be protected, they can prosper, they can have abundance, they can be happy. Future generations in your family will be happy, wealthy, healthy, have good status, be good people, do good things, and be remembered for years, hundreds of years, centuries from now. And remember and be able to recall that one witch being you who went to the altar on their behalf to change everything with that spell, ritual, hex, or curse. That's it. It just takes one witch to change everything. Just one. Are you that one? So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I just really wanted to come on and really encourage just that one witch to go to the altar on behalf of their family. So thank you guys, and I'll speak to you soon.